Hi, everyone, and welcome to Good Morning Sunshine. Really excited to introduce this guest for you today. Jeremy Bloom is the CEO and the founder of NorthSight Recovery here in Arizona, and they are really changing the game when it comes to helping people heal from their trauma. He also has an incredible story himself, which led to his purpose in his life. He's going to share some of that today with us. Jeremy, my buddy, good to see you.
Thanks, Brandon. Good to see you as
well.
well.
Good to see you. I should also say NorthSight Recovery is also a partner of ours at Art of Our Soul. So really excited about that partnership and where it is growing. But Jeremy, I always like to get people to know who you are and kind of your background before we get into NorthSight and how you really are changing the game when it comes to delivering behavioral health care for so many people in our needed populations. A little bit about you. You are someone who at times in your life has also struggled. You've been on the other side where you were seeking care in your own personal life. How did that, talk to me a little bit about that and really how that led you to the purpose of creating what you've created today.
I'm in recovery. I've been sober for a little over 10 years. But for so many years as a child, I was so alone, so lost. So misunderstood, and I didn't understand why. I didn't understand why I was different. You know, at that time, you know, folks recognized, you know, substance use disorders, but not the way that we kind of view things today. There weren't many options for treatment. There wasn't a lot of education for prevention. So again, the messaging that I got as a young child was that I'm different, something's wrong with me.
What makes NorthSight Recovery so different from other treatment centers, you know, in Arizona, which is one of the most saturated states when you look at the United States as a whole? Arizona is so overly saturated.
So I think the first thing is we're not your typical 30-day, 60-day, 90-day. You can't put a time on what somebody needs in order to get better, in order to be in a place to be able to work through some of the healing from trauma and some of the other pieces, right? We also put a lot of emphasis on addressing their social determinants of health, right? When you think about an underserved population, oftentimes, not only do they have lots of trauma, transgenerational trauma, but you have to look at the environment that they were raised in. They might not know what it looks like to be professional. They might not know what it looks like to have a job. They may never have had a job. Maybe they did. They likely don't have transportation or even know what to do to get transportation. Cost of living is a lot, right? You know, so it really is, you know, having a very experienced and well-rounded team to include folks that are in recovery, such as myself, right? I'm not a clinician, so I never cross that line. And oftentimes, even as the CEO, you know, I allow the team to feel empowered to use their expertise and their skill sets so that we can make the best decisions. And my viewpoint is always from somebody who's in recovery, somebody who went through several different treatment centers, somebody who had a lot of, you know, trauma as a child and wasn't understood, to try to create that opportunity for others.
So how important is it to be able to provide opportunities for housing, but you also have, you know, learning to be a good employee, learning how to fill out applications, learning those skills? Those, to me, are the true foundations into helping somebody sustain recovery.
Correct. You know, so I have a few thoughts. I think when we think about behavioral health, right, we've progressed a lot in the last 10 years. You know, when I first, you know, started my career as a young professional, I had the opportunity to kind of have mentors and see Arizona's behavioral health system from a macro level. A lot of things didn't make any sense, logically speaking, right? Which, the passion coupled with the curiosity kind of kept me driving and moving forward to say, well, this just doesn't make any logical sense. Why would we do this? Why would we do that? If somebody doesn't know how to get a job, if somebody hasn't had a job, if somebody doesn't have a vehicle, why would we think that sticking them in a 30-day residential is going to lead to success without even looking at any of the research? That just logically did not make sense, right? And the curiosity kept driving me forward, okay. And so then going to college to understand what are these universities teaching, healthcare administrators and, healthcare professionals around the treatment of mental health and substance use, right? And that's what really excites me, Brandon, because I think, moving forward, we're in the land of opportunity, right? As it relates to behavioral health, and really, how does behavioral health fit in with the rest of medicine, and what does it look like? It's a very subjective space, and I think that's been, part of the challenge because it's subjective in nature. And what does success mean, right? So you look at residential. What is it trying to accomplish? What does success mean, right? I think we've also made a lot of advances as it relates to understanding the nature of these illnesses and how they work, right? From somebody in recovery, I always use the analogy, look, when we're in the third grade, most of us want to be a police officer. Do you remember what you wanted to be in the third grade?
In the third grade, I wanted to be president, and I look back and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking?
What the hell were you thinking,
yeah.
Right? And I wanted to be a chef, right?
Yeah.
There's not many people that I talk to that don't recall what it is that they wanted to be when they were a young child. Mind you, I've never met anybody to date that has said that they want to suffer from a serious mental illness, or they want to be incarcerated, or they want to be homeless, or they want to destroy everything in their life and use drugs intravenously. And so again, you look at why does that happen? There are biological components, environmental circumstances, trauma. While as a society we have to, deal with what the reality is, look, these people have illnesses, right, that we have to treat, and treatment has to look different. Residential, in my opinion, is really, part of the crisis continuum. It really should be to, if we're looking at symptom management through medications, it's really to, okay, we don't have the right medication, or maybe we need to observe a little bit longer. But I think we use residential as, again, 30 days, 60 days, and you're going to be fixed. But you have to build the foundation, and then there's no saying how much time it's going to take for somebody to really open up and be in a place to work through their trauma and some of the other stuff. It's hard work.
It's going to be exciting to see where you go. I know you can't talk about some of the future plans that are about to happen with NorthSight, but I do know some of those plans, and it's going to be really exciting, and I can't wait to see you be able to announce to the world where those next steps of NorthSight are going to be, because I truly believe it'll be a game changer for such a population that really needs the attention and a lot of that focus, and they need a lot of those resources. So if you're watching right now, as you are, check out NorthSightRecovery.com. Go to their website, learn more about the programs that they're offering right now. Perhaps you or somebody you know might find a fit with NorthSight Recovery. But they have everything you need to know on their website, NorthSightRecovery.com. And if you are already here watching us on YouTube or any other social media channels, do us a solid. Go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll send you out one of those little alarm bell notification symbols every time we upload a new episode. We will see you back here for Good Morning Sunshine on the next episode.